one tonight if you want me to. That you could, that you could start. That you could maybe we could put that as a thing to go.
I think that would be best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, since we're going to be talking about just the introduction, right? We talked about the introduction, so maybe I could really talk about some of my introduction to football and just some of the funny things that happened.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully there'll be some music at home. Bam, 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 bam. There is rice at home. There is rice at home. There is rice at home. No, we cannot shop outside. There is rice at home. That's
the music. I'm gonna take that audio.
No, you're not.
Hello.
I'm here.
Hello.
Okay, give me a second.
Yep.
You can edit the part that I walk away, right?
No, I'm not going to.
All right. So the thing that I do best in football, right?
Yeah.
Is hit. That's the thing that I do best, but it wasn't always that way. I always played football outside with my friends, and I didn't play football to my 10th grade year in high school because mom would not let me play football because you had to sign the parental permission slips for your kids to play football, right? But mom would never do it, and I could never understand why. But now, in retrospect, I'm looking back at a woman who was single mom, working like 3 jobs.
Yeah.
An immigrant in this country without papers, right? No health insurance, nothing. Like
she didn't have no papers.
No.
What?
We were not. Hey, we were not born with the silver spoons of PG Plaza like you.
PG.
So finally, I said, okay, we're going to high school. I'm going to play. But then my 9th grade year was at Eastern at the middle school because they were still building a unit to the high school to accommodate all of the students that were coming in, right? To make it bigger. So I didn't play football my 9th grade year. So it wasn't until my 10th grade year that I went to play football, right? And again, I played football for since 81. This is 84, 85, right?
Wow.
I've been playing football since 81, 82, just outside with my friends, tackling and doing all that kind of stuff, right? But none of that means anything. Like it's football is completely different when you start putting on your equipment. You start putting on your pants. You start putting on your shoulder pads. And you start putting on that helmet. So we get out there for high school practice. The first day we had our equipment on. I don't have a jersey on. I got a shirt because at that time you had to buy your practice gear. You had to buy your shorts, your t-shirt, and your jersey.
That's way too much.
I couldn't afford the jersey, so I bought the shorts and the practice shirt, and I used the shirt over top my shoulder pads. So I remember this day like it was yesterday. And there's a bump on my nose, and I'm going to give you but it's very, very much related to this story. We have this drill. I don't know the name of the drill, but what it has, you have a tackler that's facing a blocker, right? And the blocker is blocking for a running back behind him to go run, right? So I was the blocker. This is the first time I'd ever made any kind of contact with shoulder pads in any sort of formal practice whatsoever, right?
Oh, yeah. And
I'm going against this guy who actually was a really good dude, good friend of mine. He was always cool to me. His name was Tyrone Walker, right? Tyrone was a tackler. Tyrone was a tackler. I was a blocker. And some poor soul behind me was the runner. So Tyrone's job was to get rid of the runner and make the tackle. And my job was to block Tyrone and prevent him from making that tackle, right? As soon as the coach is like, ready, go. I'm tippy-toeing towards Tyrone. Well, he just came and just every single bit of everything he had. He had little flaps on his shoulder pad. He went inside my kit. I had a pimple developing, right? He made that permanent. This is my football welcome right here.
No.
He went inside my mask, helmet was twisted and everything. Like everything. I couldn't see straight at that point. Like he literally knocked me clean. Right? And obviously made the tackle.
obviously made the tackle.
So I went home after practice that night, and I didn't even know this was called introspection. But I was doing some introspection, right? And I started thinking about,
is this for me?
how much exactly is this for me? How much do I love football? And if I love football, I'm either going to play or not play. Right? I'm either going to play or not play, but I can't tippy toe. Because no matter what happens, right? This is the thing that really stuck in my head. I'm going to get hit anyway. You know how you say my mom is going to punish me anyway, so I'm going to do it. Even if I don't do it, I'm going to get punished for doing it, so I'm going to do it anyway.
So you just do it. Yeah, correct.
You just do it. So my mentality after that night, after that practice, after the Tyrone Walker incident where he put his entire shoulder pad inside my face, either I'm going to play or I'm not going to play. I can't tippy toe. From that point forward, my mentality in football was not to hit the guy in front of me, was to hit the guy behind him. And even if there was nobody behind him, that's how fast I was that's how fast and how hard I was going to come. Because I'm going to get hit anyway. Why not be the one who's doing the hitting instead of the one that's sitting back and waiting for the person to hit you? Yes, that is a lesson that I learned from Tyrone Walker. Like tattooing his name on my face. I was very timid when I stepped on that field, put on shoulder pads, helmets, everything. Like it's a whole different world when you started hearing helmets clanking, bah, shoulder pads clanking, bah. And you look at guys who've been doing this since they were like 5. Football since they were 5. They've been making contact since they were 5. Just out there. And I'm just out here starting afresh, starting anew, trying to find my feet.
It's weird to think of you as timid.
Literally, Tyrone Walker made me question my love of football at that particular day.
Tyrone Walker, if you went to Eastern in 1980, what was it?
Not Eastern, Montgomery Blair.
Oh, Montgomery. You went to Blair. But Tyrone Walker, if you see this and you're out there and you remember this man, I don't know which side he's on, this man.
And like I said, I didn't know what's called introspection. I just know I was looking myself in the like, I was looking at myself in the eye, like literally saying to myself, either you're going to do it or you're not.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's nothing I hate worse than seeing somebody play football on the field and when it's time to hit, they start backing up or running.
Oh.
All right, or coming up a little timid. Right? So we call that making business decisions. Right? Business decision. See,
who's calling it that? People who play football?
Yes. It's called making a business decision because to preserve and save your body instead of getting in the mix. Right? That is known as a business decision.
Well, I mean, when you're playing and your body is your entire paycheck, like you gotta be serious, or you gotta start building muscles like the Hulk. Or be faster than everybody.
I'm talking 10th grade. Yeah. No one is earning money. Yeah. I have to say, like Tyrone Walker, literally.
You say his whole name. What more?